Hello, my name is Miguel Morales.
My name is Juan Castro,
Welcome to Power Your Story Season 5.
a podcast from Raygram Training Center High School in Chicago.
My name is Miles. This is our team is making a podcast.
Hello, my name is Aliyah Rich for Power Your Story podcast, and I'm here at Ray Grant Training Center High School outside in our gardens, and I'm here to tell my favorite moments of podcasts. So to give you a quick thing, so we have a podcast class that we always have interviews and well as lessons about what we need to know about podcasts and how we have prepared guests for questions. And I'm here to tell you one of my favorite moments of podcasts and what I'm looking for our future in podcasts as well. And one of my favorite moments that we did for interviews for me is Ms. Kirsch's art, where I put a lot of passion and thoughts to that interview, where I talk about what is power and how power in art is very new and wonderful, and it's evolved about thinking and being yourself and expressing yourself. Another favorite interview is one where I have Shamar and Justice and Alfred talk about our favorite moments in comic books. We talk about our favorite comic books and like anime and cartoons and what we think about it. It's pretty much an interesting topic, especially towards your favorite cartoon or show that's happening right now. And we like to talk about that and what we think about it. And another favorite interview, like listening about it, is the San Trump interview, where we have a music artist that came here and he talk about what he likes to do and how he got into making music, and what his album is about is Purple Skies, and that was interesting. But if I had to tell you one thing, when I first got into podcasts, I never knew what it is exactly, and for the most of the part, it was very interesting to learn about it. Because after Ms. Klunder, one of our teachers, a podcast, it talks about it, and she introduced us to Stitcher as well as Spotify, knowing they have podcasts. I listened to some of them on Spotify, and it was very interesting. One of the favorite podcasts that I listened to was Ear Biscuits, and it's from famous YouTube channel Good Mythical Morning. I listen to that as well as on YouTube, because some podcasts can be found on YouTube, and that's interesting. And I enjoy each one of those moments because there's a lot of different types of podcasts, like one for mental health, books, movies, games, comic books, anything you can think of basically. And those were interesting to find. Any moments that I consider just be fun of it is just like learning how to deal with stress with your boss, or learning to listen to an interview like what a famous fence player that we once listened to on somebody's radio, and it was a very interesting interview. And yeah, just like when it comes to like podcasts, we always make sure we have enough questions as well as any extra questions that any students can ask. And for our guests or an interview, we've always come prepared. And even if there's a person that has some difficulties or can't do the interview, we always adapt to change. And I always find that interesting and good that we are flexible about any situation. And I have like a lot of ideas of what I want to do, and I can't wait for the future. Even though some students are leaving for podcasts, they all said their farewells. And even though we have like gonna have new students, I want to say this: It's been wonderful. Hopefully everybody will know what we did for podcasts in Raygram, and hopefully we can easily get the word out, because we be on social media and on YouTube, as well as for our website. And hopefully people will learn more about us, as well as what interview we did, and hopefully somebody will check it out. And I would like to say thank you for anybody who's listening to this. It's been a great season, and I enjoy every moment of it. And I would like to say goodbye. Thank you for listening for our Power Your Story podcast, and hope you listen more. Thank you.
Power Your Story podcast is produced by students at Ray Graham Training Center High School in Chicago.
With broadcast support from After School Matters in the Creative Impostor Studios.
Our theme music is by Gennaro Jackson, aka DJ Sparks.
You can find our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and on the web at poweryourstorypodcast.com.
We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as Power Your Story Podcast.
Follow us, subscribe, leave a review, and share our show with a friend.
Thank you for listening. Keep it classy.
Turn up all the way.